G'day ladies and gentlemen, Darkville here. Welcome to a Terran vs Protoss replay from StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. Of course, we've got our red Terran player up at the top right hand side here. Representative of Team Evil Geniuses, it is Xenocider, aka Xeno. Joined up, this young Terran player joined up a little while ago. And has, been slowly rising, gaining some, slowly... I suppose, doing a lot of laddering. He's appeared at a couple of events as well, and has been, he's been doing alright. We'll see how his 2014 is, as we're almost there, and it should be a good season for him to be able to try and prove himself a little bit further as well. Of course, as a rising star, it's, sometimes it's hard to get into a good position to really show off your skills, but hopefully Xeno and, some of the other young players that have really been up and coming throughout 2013 will be showing themselves next year. Over here at the bottom left-hand side of Derelict Watcher TE is our Blue Protoss player from Team Clarity Gaming. It is Kontinue. Now, Kontinue, also a young Protoss player here, has joined up with Clarity Gaming, released a replay pack just a little while ago over on Team Liquid. You can go and find it over there. I'll put it in the description just in case you missed it. But here's a player who is I'll give you one tip. A, he really loves Blink Stalkers, and B, really has some great timings. Like there's players out there. Obviously, generally, it does revolve around Protoss players, but there are some players out there who are really crisp with timing. Is really good at recognizing when they can try and capitalize on something based on what they've scouted. They also, do have certain builds that are mapped out so perfectly, building positions, the micro required, and all these kinds of things. And they can just hit certain timings, and it can really hurt when it comes to dealing with these kinds of things. So Kontinue is one of those players after watching through some of his replays, and we'll see what he wants to get up to here today on Derelict Watcher. There's a few ways to play out this map. You can look to do some 2-base pushing as a Protoss player. As a Terran, you can do something similar, but normally the Terrans like to sort of head up to 3-base and play out a little bit more of a macro game here, as you can play it out a little bit that way, and sometimes Protoss can have trouble with it. But generally speaking, of course, lately this particular matchup has been favouring the Protoss players a little bit more so. But Kontinue's going to open us up with a Stalker. He's got the Warp Gate tech also on the way. Meanwhile, for Xeno, he's got a Reaper just coming through, just checking out what's going on. A very agile little scouting unit coming out from Xeno here, as he wants to check out if his opponent has something fishy going on. All the while, going to expand himself. The Reaper is the only unit that's going to be out here for Xeno at the moment. While he gets a reactor starter, we'll probably have, there's a second Rax. Do we have another one? It looks like the answer is a no for the moment. Some players do like to throw down that extra barracks, but as you can see, Xeno is going to get an engineering bay out pretty quickly here, just perhaps a little bit worried about the possibility of some, some proxy tech here. He's still trying to figure out what is going on. He knows that there's double gases here. His opponent has not headed down towards the natural to pick up that natural nexus either, and, he knows that there is something going on, so he's trying to figure out what is up here. As Kontinue's Mothership Core passes by, the Reaper there in the middle of the map. Xeno with his natural nexus now up and running. Yeah, he's really worried about what's going on here. Was not able to find it. One of the reasons why I think Xeno is particularly worried was that he only saw 2 pylons here inside the main base. He did not see the third one just across to the side over here. So he's thinking that there is something proxied out on the map, which is why we've had this the Reaper checking about so far, and also the SCV looking around to try and find what this proxy tech is. And now upon scouting the natural base and seeing that the nexus is still not down, we know that something fishy is in the works. And why is that turret not fully built? That's a little bit odd. But there is a turret here that for some reason hasn't been finished up, but he's worried about what could be happening. So he's going to finish up this orbital command, and I would assume we're going to see Xeno back off inside the main base here, and possibly even build up a couple more bunkers. But for the moment, still hasn't actually started anything like that. But the Blink Tech is now on the way here for Kontinue, who is going to be getting a huge amount of Stalkers just over here across to the side. So 4 Gate Blink Stalkers now is the play here from Kontinue. The natural base, of course, is well, it is up and running, but I mean, it's not going to be for very long, as the Stalkers will march their way inside. Xeno will see that and say, alright, it's Blink Stalkers. Alright, we know what's going on here. I've just got to try and figure out how to deal with this correctly. As you can see, we would like to see another bunker. I personally kind of feel that this spot, and then at the front, and then even across the side are the sort of the best places to see the bunkers go down, because these particular positions will protect you for the most part from all sorts of blinking in. You've got this side here, you've got across to the side, and then any sort of region at the front door ramp, but it looks as if Kontinue is going to look and find that there is still only the one bunker up at the front. The Marines are trying to come through. We get the double time warp going down to try and block out those Marines before they can come across, and now slowly blinking back is Kontinue here, as he is making a best use of all of those Stalkers there, just keeping an eye on when they're low on shields and then blinking them back. You don't want to let them take too much damage. Of course, this one here at the front is a little bit low. He's got half health here, but as their shields regen, they can now push forwards again, slowly blinking back, as you can see here, and Kontinue should be able to really put the pressure on. I mean, Xeno has not been able to get out yet. I still feel like a third bunker would be quite helpful here, and this one seems just a little bit off to the side, but it's not too bad. But I mean, he's as you can see, Kontinue. He's just gonna keep up this pressure. There's no real need to sort of back off at the moment. He's kept his opponent down on the workers, down at 20 SCVs. Is our Terran player here from EG. It looks like he has lost 11. The Stalkers will now march across. They're trying to kill off some of those SCVs. Gonna slowly blink back, as we can see. Stimmer's now finished up, which means Xeno should be able to get a lot of damage done here, and does take down a couple of the Stalkers. But is it enough? Is he going to have enough to be able to salvage this here? Because once the medevacs are out, that's normally when a Protoss is going to have a hard time actually dealing with this kind of situation here, because the Marauders start to come out. When they stim up, they will wreck the Stalkers. But I mean, now we've got Kontinue just marching up to the front door. There's no SCVs here to repair the bunker, and that is a huge mistake from Xeno. And wow, he's out of there. He knows that was a really tough mistake there. Was not able to get his SCVs across in time. And once those bunkers go down, it's pretty much over. It becomes really hard to protect those units. So a quick game, but a good one. Kontinue, as again, recognizing a small weakness there in the opponent's positioning, taking advantage of it and getting some one base 4K Blink Stalker play out of the way there from our Clarity Gaming Protoss player. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Here, as you can see, 47 damage to bio units, and then the 34 damage against other standard targets. His storms have also been wonderful, just spreading them out across the battlefield, doing really nicely there. And for minigun, he's been sticking with a much more